Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer League Week 6 Spoiler Log Racing. This week we are featuring each runner with a teammate who gets the spoiler log and has to communicate verbally with the runner to best route them. So tonight we have Dracarys representing Clown Parade against Flipheal representing 16-bit Nerds. As you can see by their points, both of these teams are doing quite well, and stakes are high for both teams in terms of playoff positioning. I'm Drosy1. I'm here with Shireen tonight. How are you doing?
How's it going, Drosy?
Well, I'm thankful to be out of Cross Keys week, personally. I don't know about you.
Oh boy, yeah, that was a mess. Seeing streams anywhere from 2 hours to 3.5. It was a very messy week for sure.
Yeah, and these streams are more like 1 hour to an hour and a quarter.
Yeah. You kind of get 20-30 minutes in and you're already looking at the finish line, and it's like, because when you have a spoiler log, it's go mode when the timer starts. So, and there we go.
There's your timer. Wow, nice start. It's worth noting that the pilots only get the spoiler log at go, so both Dracarys and Flipheal just blindly decided to start at Sanctuary, and, well, the glove's out of the way. Their pilots don't have to worry about that now.
And they're both looking to head over towards Lostwoods. We'll see if one goes to CAC. And Dracarys does hesitate a little bit and go to CAC. Flipheal is going up into the woods.
Yeah, and in the first couple of minutes, it's kind of like, okay, where do I just try to farm that's reasonably item dense while my teammate's busy reading the spoiler log and trying to figure out how to route me?
And I've run with a few different people, and normally you start the run and it's like, okay, what's bush crab? What's stun prize? What's tree pull? Let's kind of see if resources we can get quickly. And once you identify that, then you can kind of make a decision of, okay, if I can get early bombs, maybe I'll just, do that. Rupees is a big deal.
And speaking of early bombs, Flipheal's decision to go into the Lost Woods while he was waiting for routing paid off with some of those.
Yeah, he's going to have a few bombs and a little bit of money.
Meanwhile, we really have Stackerico today.
Yeah, so far we got a fair bit of weapons. I didn't even notice there's a sword, there's an ice rod, there's a glove, there's a bow.
Yep. And a bottle, though we don't have bottle merchant money yet. And Dracarys' save and quit means that his teammate has probably told him, and Flipheal skipping that bombable wall and blindside, that they've both been told by their teammates at this point that there's nothing of use behind the bombable walls, and there's nothing in race game.
Yeah, it's interesting because Dracarys didn't have any bombs, so you kind of didn't really get confirmation. And Flipheal is dropping a bomb for this one, so we'll actually see if there's anything here. He's going for it.
And Dracarys is buying them now.
Ooh, okay, that's a TR key. So that is most likely required.
Yeah, that's actually the second one we've seen already.
Yeah, normally you need 3 out of 4. Sometimes, if the spoilers mean, you'll need all 4.
Yeah, basically you need the 4th one if there's an important item in Lava Chest.
So Flipheal's going to get his Quake from the tavern. He will probably be saving quitting. Wow, so a pod key, an Eastern big key, and the Pearl. And this is interesting now because Dracarys can full clear Eastern, which, normally in spoiler log you don't necessarily talk about full clear, but any time you can buy for your pilot is good time. You know, if Drac goes in there and Perdwong, who Perdwong is his spoiler reader, Flipheal for 16-bit nerds has Floyd. If you can buy your pilot some time, you know, that's a big time save. And I'm sure Perdwong just scanned Eastern really quickly and now is gonna continue doing further routing. Flipheal in Mini Moldorm Cave now.
Yeah, so at this point, Dracarys, Purdy Wong should have had enough time to read the log that Dracarys should know which chest to open in here. That was interesting, since Flipheal's clearly getting instructions because he skipped the NPC in Mini Moldorm Cave. It's interesting that he took the piece of heart, because usually, you know, you're gonna need more than 4 hearts health to get through the seed, but most runners will just try to stick to full hearts and not bother with pieces.
Right. Sometimes you could see runners gathering pieces and kind of plan refills, you know, around that. So, you know, if you have 2 pieces, 3 pieces, you might say, let's save the 4th piece for a certain chest.
And that
yeah,
that swamp small key is big, because that locks the entire dungeon.
We also got the lamp right before the big chest, so this is all in logic. Flipheal using his last bomb here to get the treasure trove of Saha's closet. Interesting enough, Flipheal is out of bombs. We'll see if that comes into play.
But that is a 6-minute crystal for Dracarys.
Yeah, and in spoiler log, you come to expect these things, but it's key sanity. That's pretty crazy.
And Titan's Mitch plus Moon Pearl is also Dark World access.
Yeah, definitely not the way runners typically want. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they route this Dark World.
I guess we'll have to find out where the hammer is. So, what do we have in Uncle?
The mirror.
Ooh.
That is a nice routing tool for sure. I feel like that's a hard item to use efficiently as a pilot, because, you know, light world, dark world, there's a lot of difficulty with that, but it looks like he is going to the back of his.
Yeah, interesting that he hasn't yet gone to Mini Moldorm Cave to get his mitts.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, it's pretty safe to say there's nothing in the front of Escape, or he would have been there already.
Yes. Nothing urgent, at least. Okay, so it was a back of Escape of safety. There was a blue mail over there and a heart piece.
Yeah, again, the 2 heart pieces are kind of random going for them, but this early in the game with such little health, the blue mail is totally worth that detour.
And if Dracarys does Mini Moldorm right now, I think he's at 2 pieces, correct? You know, so suddenly...
3, because there was the one on Armos Knights.
Right, so that'll be 5 hearts for him. And 5 hearts and 4 hearts in the Dark World makes a big difference. So, the pieces definitely add up.
Very true.
Over the course of the whole run, you know. So Flipheal, now done with Armos, is probably going to make his way to the uncle.
Yeah, definitely want that mirror sooner rather than later.
So far, the only real deficit for the 16-bit nerds is that of going into Lost Woods, although Flipheal did pick up that second TR key behind the bombable wall.
Dracarys also talked to the NPC for 300 rupees, which Flipheal specifically avoided, so I wonder if maybe Purdy Wong, Dracarys' pilot, realized something about Zora that Floyd 44, Flipheal's pilot, didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, you know, not counting Zora, it's never bad to have money, and normally a pilot will tell you to skip something like 10 arrows or this or that, but if it's 300 rupees, you know, most people normally say grab all the chests. It's very possible there's money elsewhere. It's very possible that, you know, there is something on Zora. They're trying to build money. But so far, it just looks like the runners were pretty poor.
And not surprisingly, since they've done basically all the same checks, they're hitting the Dark World at basically the same time.
So Flipheal skipped the back of Escape, and he is now in 3-heart Greenmail Dark World territory.
Yeah, and Dracarys, skipped Lost Woods, which wound up being a much more worthwhile skip because he just bought his bombs, made up for it by claiming the 300 rupees.
Yes. So Dracarys is actually stealing a key here, which tells us two things. It tells us that there's going to be something in the front that's key locked, and it also tells us they're going to want to continue their tour. Oh, and Flipheal didn't grab the key. Oh no. He didn't grab the key.
He's gonna find out pretty soon.
He was close. Like, I saw him pull out the mirror, and I was like, does he realize? But then he walked out. And the boots for Dracarys. So there you go. There you see the urgency here. And now...
Yeah,
Ooh.
Just like the mirror, it makes your routing a lot nicer.
Yes, for sure. Flipheal now realizing and going back. He's got to be careful with 1 heart. You don't want to die in the overworld.
Oh, and we're going into Thieves Town without the big key.
Yes. You have the mirror. It's 4 chests. There's probably something here. Some health. You know, in a non-spoiler seed, this is normally a solid play. Continue?
I was just wondering if you happened to grab the spoiler log when they
Yes.
released it, just because if you can quickly check which dungeons are pendants for all this.
So we have Wisdom at Desert Palace, Power at Pod, Courage at Skullwoods, and our 5, 6 are Eastern Palace and Thieves Town.
Okay. And unfortunately, there was a little bit of lag, so I didn't see what Dracarys got before he got the DP big key. But it looks like... Oh no, Flipheal is not going into Thieves Town.
And no one either took the Smith, so that tells you something.
Yeah, and they skipped Cave 45 and Stumpy. Oh no, Flipheal's going into Cave 45.
Ooh, the flippers. Okay.
Makes me wonder why Dracarys skipped that. He has the mirror, it would have made sense.
And this is where it comes into, like, the flippers, right? K45 is a light world location, right? So when you're routing the dark world, it's not something you necessarily see.
Oh.
And that's why, you know, it's very possible that he just missed it.
That makes sense.
He might be going back for it right now.
Looks like quite possibly.
Which leads me to think there's something in the front of Swamp. But you never know. You know, there's a decent amount open. We just got the hammer out of Hype Cave.
Yeah, we don't know where the hook shot is, but you know, we're just a hook shot short of being able to beat Swamp now.
Yes. So Flipheal's gonna circle back to... Where is he going? Oh! He needs to buy bombs. He only has 1 bomb for Hype Cave. He needs 2. That's what's happening here.
Oh, you don't even think about that most of the time.
Yep. I was trying to realize because I'm like, he knows Hype Cave, but where's he going?
Meanwhile, I guess Desert's got something in it because otherwise Dracarys would just wait for a Meyer access and do the two at the same time.
For sure.
And it's not on the right side because he didn't take a small key.
Okay, this is interesting. Because Flipheal didn't get the Desert Big Key. And, okay, it's a sword. Okay. I was interested there, because I figured if it was something crucial, Flipheal would have made a dip into Thieves.
I mean, he's gonna want that sword upgrade at some point.
Yeah, he might be able to single dip Thieves though, so maybe that's the thought process.
I still didn't actually see what Dracarys got in the chest before that because the screen froze.
I can take a look.
Back in Thieves Town, it was something in the front of Thieves Town that wasn't the Desert Palace Big Key.
It looks like, according to the spoiler log, it's Silvers?
Oh, well, Flipheal's probably gonna get it too. Oh, and Flipheal also picked up a heart container, so he's finally off of 3 hearts.
Yeah, it is. It's Silvers.
So the front of Thieves Town is loaded. We got a heart container, we got powder, we got silvers, and we got a necessary big key.
Oh, and the flutes! Oh man, Pendant Desert is providing. Wow.
So, necessarily we had to do Desert before we could do Meyer.
Yes. So Flipheal back here, getting his Desert Big Key. It's a little unfortunate because, you know, Desert locks the flute, right? So you have to come back to activate it. So that coming back to Thieves is not super convenient, but...
But then we'll have an active flute, we'll have a mirror, we'll have all the Dark World portals besides, you know, Aga 1.
Yes.
So it'll be really easy for these runners to get around the map.
Oh, and there's another TR key in Bonk Rocks. So now we know of 3.
Yeah, I wonder if Dracarys is going to go down the well and get the 3rd one while he's here activating the flute.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably the best time to.
As soon as he took out his bombs, it was pretty certain.
Yes. Where is Flipheal going?
This is interesting, given what we just saw with the flute's location, that and Flipheal just went and got the Desert Palace big key, that he decided to take the old man route to Death Mountain anyway and not just get the flute and flute up there. But hey, the goose is loose on Dracarys' side. He'll be traveling the world a whole lot faster now. Ooh, and the old man gives us that TR big key. This is amazing. The game's like screaming TR. We have 3 small keys, the big key. Dracarys is also about to get the big key. The runners went to the trouble of getting Quake, so I'm gonna guess TR is Quake. And the only thing missing is the Cane of Samaria. And the Fire Rod, for that matter.
Yeah, and Flipheal going to the mountain could very well be that he was just buying his pilot time. You never know with these things.
So that was a Meyer small key on Spectacle Rock, which I guess buys you a little bit of, makes things a little bit faster in Meyer if there are no items of interest in there. Ooh, and Flipheal just barely gets dead rocked.
There's the cane.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if this means the Fire Rod's nearby as well then.
Yeah, and they both walked right past Hera.
Oh, the Fire Rod's probably on Laser Bridge or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they need either the Hera Big Key or the Hookshot to Herapod clip to do Hera, so maybe one of those items is in Turtle Rock for all we know.
Yeah, in Key Sanity, Turtle Rock is a lot more open than a normal Fire Rodless dip. So you never know.
Yeah, because in a normal mode, you know, you're kind of limited by where the keys have to be in Turtle Rock, but hey, if the keys aren't in Turtle Rock, it opens up a lot more possibilities.
And it is Quake. And Flip's going in.
And Dracarys must be going for something in the bonk chest of Hook. Well, there's that one bonk chest.
Yes. It's a key. Oh. Okay. Well, he stole the key, so he does need that. They both stole the key, actually, so they both need that. And there's the Thieves' Big.
Okay, so it wasn't exactly a required double dip of Thieves, but it sure made things easier. So, you're his teammate. How's Dracarys' hovering ability?
It's on and off. He's gotten better about it, but we'll see how persistent he is on it, because, you know, it only gets harder the more tries you fail, and you never know how it can pan out. You can lose a lot of time.
Yeah, your fingers really start to get sore after a bit.
And he gets it. Okay, we got a heart container. and the fire rod.
Oh, wow.
So there's your answer as to where that fire rod is. So if the only reason I can think if that hook shot is deep in TR, this is just, you know, I've seen multiple hover seeds, so to speak, when it comes to the spoiler log. That is just disgusting.
Yeah, that's when if you have any chance of hovering, like even failing several times like Dracarys did, it's still faster than double dipping TR.
And Dracarys gets his thieves big. Flipheal. And yeah, Flipheal also, he didn't get the TR small out of... No, he did. He did.
Yeah, they both came in with 3 small keys. I'm pretty sure. Wait.
No, he only came in with 2. He didn't do Bonk Rocks.
Oh, he did. Oh, right. He was right there. I forgot. He was right there, but he went straight up Death Mountain instead of going over to Bonk Rocks.
Well, he can't full clear either way because of the fire rod. Unless the 4th key is in here.
Does he realize that silver arrows might be a little bit more effective than fighter sword spins?
He's green mail 4 hearts, man. Props to him for taking on, you know, this. I know I would be scared doing this. So now you see Dracarys has the 2 keys, Flipheal has the 1. And he is going outside, which tells me Mimic Cave / big chests. And he's not doing Mimic Cave. Ether.
Well, that's probably our Meyer medallion then.
Well, Dracarys just skipped the big chests.
Oh.
So, if it is... Oh, and there's the hook shot. Okay. So, your hook shot's in Crystal Roller, and your fire rod is... Wow. That's not fun. And Dracarys didn't do the fire rod side, so the fire rod's just for the boss.
But still, that hovering saved him a double dip.
Pretty nasty one at that. That was pretty deep. Which is unfortunate for Flipheal. But he didn't pick up the other key, so it's not going to hurt as bad. You know, either way, he would have had to come back. You know, the mountain climb.
That hook shot also means that assuming there's nothing in Hera Big Chest, they can just do Hera right after this.
Yes. And nothing on Laser Bridge, it looks like.
Well, that's fortunate. But with a Master Sword, I think we're going to see a menu fight on Trinex here.
Yeah, no half magic, no bottles. Gonna need to see some precision hammering. And you know, there was no safety here. You know, a mirror for Dracarys takes him back to the front, so...
Wow, that was a nice 2-cycle on the Firehead.
He gets through with a little bit of magic. Flipheal getting his heart container and his fire rod. And yeah, he's not going to go back in. He doesn't have the key. Wait, is he going to Floating Island?
Or is he just trying to get some health? I wonder if he's going for the fairies.
Doesn't he have a fairy in a bottle? I think there was a fairy in a bottle earlier.
Yeah, that first bottle did have a fairy, now that you say it. He is going to Floating Island. I didn't catch what was there.
I don't think it was anything important. It might be a safety. No, it was a key. To Desert Palace. Okay.
So is there something on the right side of Desert that some sort of safety there that Dracarys decided he didn't want?
The only thing I can think of, I mean, outside of that whole right side, is that the small key is technically a logical requirement for the flute, but the runners shouldn't care about that. It's very possible there's something on right side Desert. Maybe a second sword in Desert Palace.
Grabbing the Skullwood's big key is interesting. Right, so we don't actually need another key for Skullwoods either way, unless Mothula has something or Sahasrahla has something because the pendant, but taking that big key means there must be something in the big chest.
And Flipheal just did a very nice hook speed Herapod, no pausing whatsoever. Just
I
kept running
love
and
that.
getting cool. I don't know how to do that. That's one of the few things that I just can't figure out, getting that hook speed into the pot. So Flipheal's gonna take out Moldorm. Dracarys going back now for the big chest. Okay, so that's our third medallion, which makes me think that Ether's not required.
Yeah, because we're not going to need Bombos for ice. We already have the Fire Rod, so that must be the Meyer medallion, and maybe Floyd misread the spoiler log or Flipheal misunderstood.
It's very possible he was going for a safety anyway, and he just opened the chest.
Oh, that could be.
Dracarys now either way. He's going back to Thieves now with the big key, no small key. And Flipheal looks to finally make this Desert Palace play with the small key in hand.
The thing about Thieves is there's not much difference between a full clear and a go mode of it.
For sure. You still have to bomb the attic, which is right next to a chest. You still need to get the maiden, which is right next to a chest.
That praying piranha plant, though, on Flipheal's side looked great.
Yeah. Don't see. I rarely see the piranha plants, right? But it's a nice one. So we're gonna get this right side desert. Big key to pod. Okay.
So...
Pod's a pendant, though. Makes you think there's gonna be a dip in there for something.
But the big key only gives you access to the big chest and the boss. Everything else you can get to with small keys.
Right.
And we haven't even seen any pod small keys yet.
He did go out of the way for the floating island, though, which makes me think minimally he's going to be dipping in there for something. Unless he just didn't know it was a pendant. That's also possible.
This is nice how many heart containers we've had on the way. Like one in blind cell where you're going anyway. There was one in hookshot cave on the way to the fire rod.
Yeah, on the way to the fire rod for Dracarys, and after the fire rod for Flipheal.
But still worth the extra couple of seconds for Flipheal.
Sure. For sure. Flipheal's operating still at green mail 5 hearts. He didn't do the back of escape, which netted Dracarys 2 hearts off I believe it was a container and a piece.
Well, there's Dracarys' third crystal.
He has access to all of Swamp. He has access for Hera. He can do ice, so I think it's just now the Meyer big key and the GT big key.
So it looks like this is the ice play. As Flipheal picks up his flute.
And Flipheal is going to the back of escape.
And Dracarys is doubling backs. If he go modes this, he'll still need to hit the switch up here, so let's see.
Yes.
Yep, he's going for Icebreaker.
Yeah, Icebreaker basically makes this closer to like Thieves Town, where you pass every chest on the way, except for that one iced tea room, which is still no fun. And without any Ice Palace smalls.
Gets its second try.
Skips the chest.
But yeah, without the Ice Palace big key, you do have to get that switch flipped.
Half magic. And I
So
believe
now he can...
Flipheal did
Go ahead.
just did Bonk Rocks, I believe. He just got his TR key. And there's a Tempered Sword in ice.
Yeah, it's funny, I was going to say now Dracarys can use Fire Rod strats on Cold Stare, but he doesn't need to with the Tempered.
This is pretty good equipment for, a spoiler race. We had, silvers on the way. We had most swords on the way. Desert Big Chest, is the farthest you had to go for one. And Dracarys is going for Iced Tea, it looks like. He's not going straight to the boss. So this probably has to be Meyer Big or GT Big right now. Because this is a deep check. You wouldn't do this just for a safety.
Yeah, we're pretty well in item go mode.
Big key to Meyer. Okay.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it, that he's routed this so that, we're GT big key short of go mode already.
The only other thing is we don't have any GT small keys. Which I guess only really comes into play if the big key of GT is somewhere in Ganon's Tower. You need to, because otherwise you can take the pot key and the mini helmet key and you're fine. But we do not have any GT smalls.
I wonder if maybe that's somewhere remote in pod, and that's why Flipheal took the big key for it.
Yeah, we have only seen a couple keys per pod.
And that was a beautiful Cold Stare fight between the Tempered Sword and the Fire Rod.
Yeah, very nice. So Flipheal's gonna get 6 hearts now off of this maiden chest, should he open it. And he will take out blind.
Okay, so Flipheal's going after blind. I love that line of blinds because not only is it a bad pun, it's true. Any old sword will make the cut. They all do exactly the same damage to him.
Yes. Nice fight for Flipheal there.
But yeah, you were saying about how well equipped Dracarys is. You know, Tempered Sword, Silvers, Blue Mail, and 8 Hearts is about as good as you're going to see in a spoiler race.
Yeah. This has been a pretty kind seed so far. I mean, the hovering really did break it open a little bit. That was a pretty nasty dip. But other than that, we found some big keys on the way. Our hammer wasn't hitting too hard in the Dark World. You know, we early cleared Eastern. We had to do Pendant Desert, but we also had 10-minute boots. And Flipheal's gonna make the play into ice now.
Makes sense.
So, outside of this, the only thing Flipheal really is behind is obviously going back and doing Turtle Rock. He is behind Ice Palace and from what Dracarys is in Swamp, but you know, a lot of that is the double TR, and he already did Hera.
Yeah, I'd say the fact that Flipheal has to go all the way back through TR is a much bigger deal than.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Dracarys is trying to set up the hookshot method. No, the bomb method of Diver Down. Wonder why he doesn't just do the cane setup. Well,
Yeah, I see a lot
bomb
of
setup
runners.
worked.
I see a lot of runners opt for the cane setup. I know for me, and maybe Dracarys' thought process is you're always going to have bombs coming in here, so if that's something you practice and you're comfortable with, you know, you don't kind of switch your setups. And Flipheal's going to now give us his icebreaker. Very nice.
Yeah. And Tempered Sword Argus plus Silvers goes really fast.
Yeah, and there it is. Oh, it's a small key. To Ganon's Tower. Okay, so we have a GT small key now. That makes the basement a little bit more open, and it also makes going upstairs. Flipheal gets a semi-stair clip there, which is nice. Not as meaningful when you have boots, but still a very nice tech to see.
I was just thinking, the Piranha has a red head when it's on green mail, and now a blue head on blue mail, so does that mean it'll have a green head when it's on red mail?
Let's see if we find a red mail. Let's see if the seed provides one on the way, like on Vitreous. Something. And yeah, so we see the bombos now. That tells us that that ether in the TR big chests was probably just on instinct. So, interesting now on Flipheal's side. I've seen some runners do this, where when they do Iced Tea, they actually go backwards. Your two options are going up the stairs through that room and then down the hole in the Freezor room. But I think if you can do this room optimally, it may be faster. I'm not sure. I've seen a few people do this.
It seemed to be reasonably fast. So that's where having that Meyer small key already comes in handy.
Oh no, the puff's separated now. This is going to be a test for Flipheal.
Well, this is where the half magic definitely comes in handy.
And he's got it down.
Took Dracarys a few tries there to get the spooky action glitch, but he did get it.
Yeah, that one's a little finicky with the anti-fairies.
So this is going to be Dracarys' 6th crystal now.
So, if we see him go to the mountain now, it basically tells me that that GT big key is somewhere in GT. Because any dip of pod would have happened by now. And that's all we really need.
Yeah, so let's see where he goes next. And unfortunately, Flipheal is now a full 2 crystals behind.
And we're getting a mountain play.
So either GTBK is up here or your teammates are really careless with their routing.
Yeah.
I'll go for the former.
Yeah. And, well, we are not doing a guessing game this week. It looks like if anyone wants to take a guess where it may be. Pulling out that mirror for Hera.
Yeah, this should be even faster than it was for Flipheal because he has that tempered sword, so he won't even have to use hammer straps on Moldorm.
Yeah. I know Dracarys has a different setup for this Hera pot, using the bunk.
Well, it
Good
worked.
buffers there. I know with that setup, you gotta be a little bit more careful on the sub-pixels, because based on Link's movement, if your last movement was 1 pixel or 2 pixels, it can change the bomb knockback, so that one's a little finicky. And nice diver down for Flipheal as Moldorm disappears. I looked away for literally a second.
Flipheal's also grabbing that bottle of blue goo like Dracarys did. It's nice when you can get a safety right on your way like that.
Yeah, we have a fairy, we have a blue goo now, we have blue mail tempered silvers. I think our runners will be fine throughout the rest of this run. And it's time for Ganon's Tower. If we get an early big key here, this is looking to be a sub 1.
And because you've said that, it'll be in, like, tile room or something.
Well, wherever it is, we have one small key. And Dracarys is going right. Okay, and there it is! Chest number 1! Who guessed 1?
Don't we always want to see it in room in, like, normal rando play? And of course, it's key sanity when it shows up there.
Alright, so Dracarys is now looking to get around 56 minutes, a sub 57 here. Flipheal unfortunately still needs to finish Meyer. He's already done Hera, and then just finish off Trinex. But this is a pretty large deficit.
Yeah, I'd say overall, Dracarys' routing has been a bit better than Flipheal's, but that hovering of Hookshot Cave really made the difference this seed.
Yeah, that was definitely a big time save. I think for Flipheal, the big things were, you know, the floating island into right side desert. He skipped actually the front of Thieves and actually did another trip into Outcasts. And then other small things like the TR big chest. But he doesn't. Okay, he doesn't have Bombos. He didn't get that out of Skullwood's big chest.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe Floyd misread the spoiler log in that case, since he went to the trouble of getting Ether but didn't get Bombos.
Skullwood's big key, I don't remember. Was that? I don't remember where that was.
He is just realizing he needs to get it. I think it was in library.
Yes, I remember he did dash down there. Unfortunately, he doesn't need another Skullwood small because he doesn't have to kill the boss. So he could just go in there and get what he needs.
Beautiful Wizrobe kill there on Dracarys' side. But yeah, unfortunately for Flipheal, it's looking like he won't even have 7 crystals by the time Dracarys finishes.
Yeah, all in all, with that hover, I mean, Dracarys has been playing fairly well. I think the only thing he really missed was doubling back on those flippers. But, this is a blazing fast time for these kind of races.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's spoiler, like, just because it's key sanity, you don't see too many runs that are under an hour.
Yeah, because the double dips just, you know, happen. Like, he had to full clear basically an empty Pendant Desert. TR was a required double dip. You know, failed a couple hovers, but still saved a lot of time there. And then a little bit of Pendant Skullwoods. That was actually a double dip because your boots was in Skullwoods. You had to get your Skullwoods big from the library and then come back to Skullwoods for your Bombos. So you had a double dip Pendant Skullwoods, but I think that's one of the better pendants to double dip.
Yeah, all told, you know, for pendants we had to go into, Desert and Skullwoods really aren't bad, and it's great that we didn't have to touch Pod.
Yeah, a key sanity where you don't touch Pod. That is pretty unheard of.
Did we even... I don't think we saw a single Pod small key. The runners managed to avoid them.
I think there was a couple along the way, it looks like, but it's just crazy.
Yeah. Right, Tracker's showing pod small keys, so they must have gotten them at some point, but...
Shoutouts to our tracker.
Yes, thank you, Yoinker's wife, a very seasoned tracker.
Yeah, with spoiler key sanity, you're constantly seeing progression items, and yeah, tracking can be very difficult, so it's much appreciated to all our volunteers and trackers. Alright, and Dracarys is going into Ganon.
And you have to deal with crazy things like no map checks because you know all the pendants and crystals from the spoiler log, so
Yes.
someone has to look up the spoiler log.
Oh, a cape! A cape and mire.
Interesting.
Wow. Nice hook shot to dodge those fire bats.
Yeah, nice 1-in-1 for the first 2 phases.
And with that, we just have a bridge to cross, and this will be a 55x finish for Dracarys.
Yeah, spam those GGs. And we have Dracarys done with an official SRL time of 55:53.
Wow. That is a very fast time for spoiler keys.
Yeah. And it looks like Flipheal's gonna play this out. Shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, at this point, he just needs to finish off Trinex and a quick dip in GT. I would say probably 8-9 minutes.
Yeah, probably 105-ish, maybe 106.
Which is still a very fast time.
Oh yeah, and any other seed, that's what you about expect in spoiler key sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so someone in chat's commenting, I think Dracarys should have waited 2 more seconds and gotten 55-55, just on principle. So Flipheal is on the mountain now. Your uncle is vain, that's a good one. Looks like we have Dracarys in the waiting room. We're trying to see about getting Purdy Wong an invite.
Alrighty, and Flipheal heading back into TR for the boss. Already stole the key, so he really just needs to go for Trinex.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying, but it's not like super long when you've already done everything. Okay, we have Dracarys and Purdy Wong waiting, so let's get them in here. And we are joined by Dracarys and Purdy Wong. GG's.
GG.
GG's.
So, you probably figured, what that seed really turned on.
Yeah, that hookshot cave hover was pretty important, I think.
Yeah, just a bit. Because it's like, why is he going to so much effort to get this hover? I wonder.
Yeah, I figured even if I take a couple tries, it's faster than going all the way to Crystal Roller Room and going back out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it was at about that time that I started paying more attention to what the other team was doing. It felt like even if we failed the hover for a little while, it seemed like we were kind of ahead, so I didn't mind taking the risk.
Yeah, you guys' routing was overall a bit cleaner, I'd say.
Yeah, the biggest deficit early on was Flipheal. One skipped the Skullwoods small key with the pot and actually ended up double backing in Skullwoods and lost a little bit of time there. And then actually double dipped back to Outcast because he didn't go into Thieves the first time. He actually didn't go to Desert for a long time. He walked the old man up the mountain. And so, definitely sunk a bit of time there. How about not touching pod?
That is so nice in Key Sanity. It's so nice if you don't have to care about pod keys.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've seen a Key Sanity not have a stack pod or anything in pod. But it was a nice required Skullwoods double dip there.
Yeah, that one was fun.
I thought I screwed that up for a bit, but then we realized, yeah, it is required double dip.
It was interesting being a pendant because by stealing that key, you need a key to kill the boss, but you didn't end up having to go back for the boss. I saw you did pick up one small key on the way though.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I just mistook the chest for the other one.
But yeah, 55 minutes. Is that a PB?
That's by far our fastest spoiler seed so far, but we have not done too many.
And meanwhile, Flipheal's getting his go mode in Hope Room. Yeah, Purdy Wong, what did you think when you saw where GT Big Key was in the spoiler log?
I was like, great, it's free.
It's like, how come they never put this here in regular seeds?
In Key Sanity or 80 keys, you always find your go mode in the GT basement, like a castle tower small. So, you get used to it after a while, right?
That was the other nice thing. You guys didn't have to touch Castle Tower either.
I mean, the Hera Big Q was in there.
Oh, so the seed wanted you to.
Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. All of these relatively recent glitches, it's amazing how standard they've become, how quickly, because, you guys both did Harapot, you both did Icebreaker, you both did Diver Down. But between the two of you, we actually got to see different strategies for them. We saw, Bomb Diver Down versus Cane Diver Down, Boots Harapot versus Bomb Harapot. So yeah, between the two of you, you really showed off like all these different ways for all these different glitches.
I was worried a little early on. Not early on, I would say in the mid game. You guys had 0 GT small keys. And I was thinking, if the GT big key is in there somewhere, you don't want to either forget a small key or, have some trouble there. But there was one on Argus on the way, so that made it a little bit easier.
Also means we couldn't forget to grab one, because in one of our practice scenes we actually climbed GT without a small key because we forgot to grab one.
So I was gonna say, if you forget to grab the one in the pot, that's gonna be a nasty time loss.
So yeah, what do you guys think of the mode in general?
Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of spoiler seeds because it kind of ruins the randomizer aspect for me if I know where everything is. But since it's part of the league, I practice it anyway, and it's different. You just focus on execution and just listen to your palate what he says.
Yeah, see, it's different from a normal spoiler because you still have to trust your partner to route you.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's not like you're getting paired with a partner who's like terrible or something.
I mean, we all make mistakes though. I send you to GT without the big key ones.
By the way, who are you guys putting up for your other race this week?
We're gonna switch roles.
So Shireen, you got the week off then?
I took the week off like 2 months ago. Yeah. I've actually been playing a couple of these. I had more fun than I originally thought. It's fun to, not last location once in a while.
Ooh, Flipheal just took a fall to Moldorm 2. And yeah, spoiler log all you want, nothing can save you from things like Moldorm Falls and Ganon Falls.
Alright, and just Agatu and Ganon left for Flipheal.
And yeah, that 59 collection rate is pretty incredible, even, again, for a spoiler log.
We opened a few other chests that we didn't really have to.
You guys did pretty well early on. You reacted fast enough to skip Lost Woods. You had to double back for that well, but
Beautiful triple on Agatu, by the way.
Did it help that you got to do like a 4-minute full clear of Eastern? Did that help your routing? I'm assuming that definitely gave you some breathing room.
Yeah, that's why I sent Dracarys there really early, because I needed some extra time to figure out what was going on.
You still missed the flippers. Yeah, all in all, your routing was pretty clean. Oh! Gotten by a fire bat there. The ferry that we got, what was it, 1-2 minutes in? I don't even remember where it was.
I think it was in Blinds. Yeah, he tried to fake powder an anti-fairy in pre-Moldorm room, and it just wasn't working, and then when he took the magic refill, he didn't want to spend any of it on powder, even with half magic before Ganon. Having a bit of trouble with Phase 4 and the torches here.
Did he hit Ganon with one torch?
It looked that way. Anyway, Ganon down.
It looked like he got a hit on Ganon with one torch lit.
Yeah, but then he wasn't able to get a silver into him.
Right. And Flipheal has finished in second place with a time of 1:10:03. A little over 14 minutes. We'll see if we can get him and Floyd in here.
But just to give you an idea, we had a race where winning time was 1:11 and change, so that's still faster than times that can win other spoiler Sanity races.
Hello?
Who is that? It's Flipheal. GG's.
Flipheal. GG.
GG.
GG's.
So, what was your take on that seed?
It was a fun seed overall. We just, me and my partner definitely made some really bad mistakes in the beginning. That kind of the three main things we did was, for some reason, when I asked him about the pendants, I totally blanked on pod. So we started collecting some useless pod items. He didn't have me go into thieves early, which kind of sucked, and then the Skullwoods mishap with the item in there, but.
Yeah, did you guys just confuse your medallions? Because I noticed you did go get ether, which turned out not to be necessary.
Yeah, I guess I didn't specifically ask him what opened what, and then we went in for Turtle Rock for the ether. So when we got ether, I just kind of was like, I saw the two medallions, and I just figured those were the two we needed, and yeah, that was very sad, but what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, as it turned out, I don't know if you saw this, if you were watching the other stream or anything, but it turned out that the big difference maker was just that Dracarys hovered Hookshot Cave and was therefore able to get the Fire Rod and clear TR in one go. And apart from routing differences, I think that would have made the difference right there, regardless of anything else.
It definitely would have made it a lot more respectable and closer, but yeah, he was my teammate was watching, and he was like, as we were over there, he's like, does Dracarys know how to hover? And I knew then and there, I was like, I just knew then and there we were pretty much dead in the water, but yeah, not having to double dip, that must have been really sweet.
That's what we're gonna blame loss on anyways, internally.
Yeah, when in doubt, it's always safe to blame hovering. I'm on board with that.
GG guys, though. That was a fun race.
I noticed also, Flipheal, you went 3-heart green mail for a long time. That was pretty impressive. Some of your strats over there, skipping the back of it. You skipped the back of escape for a long time. You eventually went back for it, but
Yeah, I knew I wasn't in any immediate danger. Like the first 3 or 4 or 5 dungeons aren't too bad. So, and then I kind of messed up in the beginning too. I didn't purposely miss the chest in I just kind of like blanked because Floyd told me about the heart container in there. That would have been nice to have early, but I was like, I can't go back now.
Well, throughout the race, you kept your fairy in a bottle. You ended up using it on Ganon, but you lasted as long as you needed to, and you got your tempered sword and silvers, and you made it out alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact strat, but I know there's this cool trick you can do with a fairy in a bottle on Ganon. I'll have to learn for the future.
Yeah, if you fall off and die at the same time, you can go into that falling state and kind of float around on the platform. Definitely a fun sprite to look at. It also looked like you slashed Ganon as you had one torch plate at the end. That looked a little weird.
Yeah, I thought I had it, and I guess I just missed the window, and then from there I was like super confused, and I missed like 2 or 3 other things, but...
So, for the other matchup for Spoiler Log Week, who are you guys sending forward?
I will be piloting Iker next week. Or not next week, whenever we schedule our next game, sorry.
So it's going to be Akir versus Purdy Wong, and Flipheal and Dracarys will be the pilot. Not yet scheduled.
Yeah, there are a lot of not yet scheduled races coming up this week. So I'm guessing we'll be pretty weekend heavy.
Yeah, you got 4 people you have to accommodate, I'm not surprised.
But yeah, any final thoughts from any of our runners here? Or pilots?
We haven't done these I remember before the season started, we were doing a lot of pilot races, and then we kind of put them on the back burner, but they're really fun if you have like a group of people to play around with, like, and split up. So anyone who doesn't do them, I would recommend giving them a shot. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, they've looked it. I've watched some runners practice them on Twitch. It's kind of interesting to hear how the conversations go too between pilot and runner. Like, it would be cool if we could stream that, but that would be just a little bit too busy in a restream.
Yeah, you don't want to hear us screaming at each other.
Yeah, especially the first 30 minutes.
Thanks for doing the commentary and restreaming and tracking.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was fun.
And thank you guys. Be sure to give our runners a follow here. They both played quite well and are going to be sticking around. Still got a week and a half more of the league. And also, just since we can't display it here, thanks again to the pilots, Purdy Wong for Dracarys and Floyd44 for Flipheal. And once again, thank you to our tracker, Yoinker's wife. And Shireen, it was great working with you.
Yeah, this was a fun one to call. I mean, with Spoiler Week, there's a lot of speculation on, what's exactly going on, kind of seeing how people route in safeties and how people route in other stuff. And with the fact that the log comes out as the runners start, it definitely adds some hectic aspect to it. But it's another mode that we have in the league, and this is the second to last week here, and the playoffs are down the stretch, so every game matters, and it's been exciting. So this was definitely a fun race to call. This division is nowhere near closed yet.
That's for sure, yeah. Clown Parade has pulled into... Wait, no, you already were in second place. You've padded your second place a bit, pulled a little bit closer to securing a playoff spot. And 16-Bit Nerds, tough loss, but you're by no means out of it. So yeah, I look forward to seeing where your division winds up.
Yeah, it's been a tough division.
Well, Rossi, I think that about wraps it up, right?
Yep, and this is our final race of the night, too, so to put in a plug for tomorrow here, it looks like we're actually not starting up until the evening. That, as of right now, the next scheduled race is not until 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Yagamoth versus Tala, Speed Gaming 3, so check that one out. And of course, thank you to the Speed Gaming Network for hosting all of these. It's been really great. They've been hosting a ton of these matches. So check out all their channels and check out the ALTTPR League and the ALTTPR League 2 through 4, where we put the races that can't quite fit on Speed Gaming. And yeah, it's been a blast, and have a great evening, everyone.